Hi, I'm Manda McKay. I'm a professional artist and I'm going to be giving you tips to enhance your creativity in these videos. And I'm keeping them pretty short and just one tip per video. And this is for creative hobbyists as well as artists of all level of expertise. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about ways that you can use fragrance to enhance your creativity. And actually, I have 3 different ways that you can use different scents or fragrances. First, I do want to start with a very quick disclaimer about to make sure that whatever you're using isn't toxic to anybody else in your household. I had a non-toxic air freshener that was basically made from citrus oil and smelled like oranges, and it turns out that citrus is toxic to cats. So even though it said non-toxic, I had to stop using it for fear of harming my cats. And if you have children especially, or anybody who's really sensitive to stuff like this, just be careful and maybe do a little bit of research just to make sure that something's not harmful to your pets. And of course, anything that you burn or spray or diffuse is probably going to be more potentially hazardous to them than something that you just put on your pulse points and sniff. But anyway, the first way that you can use fragrance to enhance your creativity is by using scents that are just known to stimulate creativity in the majority of people. The first thing that comes to mind is Nag Champa incense. And this is a perfect example of something that, you know, you're burning something indoors and it's probably not great for your air quality. I used to love using incense and now it gives me a terrible headache. So on the rare occasion that I go ahead and use this incense, and specifically Nag Champa incense, I will burn it for 2 minutes and then I just douse the whole thing under running water. And you don't have to burn the whole stick. Believe me, you'll get the same benefits just from burning it for a couple minutes. So Nag Champa incense, a couple other fragrances that work for most people. Peppermint is considered one of the best to just make you, to put you in a more creative mood, basically. And jasmine and citrus. Again, be careful because citrus, it turns out, is toxic to cats and probably other animals as well. So if you're going to use that and you have cats around, just dab some on your wrists or use one of those little inhaler sticks maybe, as opposed to spraying it around the whole room like I was doing. So that's the first way. Now the second way is by using a fragrance that is going to bring up specific memories for you. And this can be helpful if, for example, you're just trying to bring up, maybe you want to write a novel that's set at the beach and you used to go to the beach. And so coming up with having a fragrance that really reminds you of the beach would help put you in that frame of mind. And it can even be like a single one-note scent like honeysuckle, or sometimes something surprising. I purchased this bar of face soap off of Etsy, and it was supposed to be like a charcoal and I think tea bar of soap, and it was, and the thing was this like dark gray, and it unexpectedly to me brought back a specific smell, a memory that I used to have. It smelled like a clean basement in a centuries old home. And I grew up in a Revolutionary War town where we had a lot of historic homes that I used to visit, and they all had these basements, and they all had this specific smell about them. And it wasn't like a musty modern basement, it was just this very specific thing. And I don't know how this bar of soap smelled like that, but it was weird because it put me into a different headspace that led to some interesting creative work. It wasn't even something that I was looking for. But anything that brings back some childhood memory, or even, you know, it doesn't even have to be childhood, you know, maybe just last summer, can be very helpful, especially if you know that that's something that you want to be exploring in your creative work at this time. And I will say that Etsy is a great place to find really unusual fragrances, like a perfume that smells like dirt, for example. If you think that that would help you in some way or bring back a specific memory, I would just say look on Etsy and try out some of their perfume samples. Now, the third way that you can use fragrance to help your creativity, I would term this as aspirational. And this is something where maybe it's a place that you've never been, but you want to be thinking about. So perhaps maybe you've never been to France, and to you France would smell like lavender. So if you got something that smelled like lavender, that would possibly put you into that frame of mind of thinking like you could feel like you were in France. You could pretend basically. And then if you're, like I said, trying to do something involving France in your creative work, that could be very helpful. And this could also be for if you want to feel like a different person or some kind of a character. And this doesn't have to be for acting purposes, it can be for really any type of art. But if you, like let's say you wanted to feel like a forest nymph, then you might come up with fragrances that make you think of the forest, like maybe a pine scent, or honestly, there's even fragrances that are called forest nymph and that sort of thing. So whatever you think would make you feel like this different kind of character, if you think that this character would be able to come up with something creatively that maybe you normally couldn't. So again, that would be an aspirational fragrance where you just try to imagine what something would smell like, and then you just see if you can find a fragrance that fits that. And again, Etsy has, you can just search for it, and they even have like little inexpensive samples to try out. So that would be my best advice for that. So give this a try and see if it works for you. And again, if you're not trying to get into a different headspace of either memories or imagining what something might be like, then try, maybe the Nag Champa incense or the peppermint or citrus, or I think jasmine is another good one, to just help awaken your creativity. And give it a try, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised and find that this actually can help you out a good bit. So I hope that these tips helped. Again, my name is Manda McKay, and thank you for watching.